Hey, what's good, people? This is Holy Warrior Yancey, and this is Holy Warrior Yancey Production. I want to be honest with you guys. How long are we going to keep putting up with this racism? And I'm not trying to hear the black on black crime issue. I'm not trying to hear that crabs in the barrel issue because, our culture over here was brought up. Our culture over here is one of dysfunction, and a lot of that stuff stems from slavery. It really does. I'm not talking about that. That's something that a lot of white people like to push on us to, I guess, make themselves feel better or less convicted by the stuff they did to us. But anyway, again, how long are we going to put up with this unfair treatment? How long are we going to put up with how they treat us? I'm going to be honest. I seen a video where a little girl was crying because her Christian school or Catholic school, they suspended her because of her hair. I believe the word they want to use nowadays is unkempt, but our hair is different. There's nothing wrong with our hair. And all that nappy stuff, I don't believe in all that. Who told you your hair was nappy? Our hair is micro curl. This is the way that God made us. It ain't no nappy. Our hair is micro curl. But anyway, they suspended her and a few other black girls, I believe, all because of their hair. And it's not right. I seen another video too where cops pulled a guy over. The guy had his hands out the window. He had, like, I believe it was a few cop cars, and they all had guns drawn on them. And the brother was screaming, "Why do you have your guns drawn? It's just a traffic stop." And the police officer was bold enough to say, "Because you're black and you're not white." Pissed me off. How long are we going to keep putting up with this mess? I want to read something. I want to go to Matthew chapter 18. I'm going to read verses 21 to 22. And this is the parable of the unmerciful servant. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times?" Jesus answered, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times." Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah. Jesus answered, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. 77 times. I'm thinking of another where they say 70 times 7. But, alright. But anyway. Back to the subject at hand. How long will we keep putting up with how they treat us? Now, how many times are we going to be forgiving? And thinking about this scripture, I look at all through history how white people have treated us. Even, as we made a come up, they did things to us just to continually stab us in our back. We got freed, and Lincoln promised 40 acres and a mule. Lincoln got killed. The government don't want to make good on that. We look at, the segregation of the schools. What was that? Brown versus the Board of Education. And then schools became integrated. But then after that, white people came up with a way to basically capitalize and bring segregation back in the forms of private schools. Whereas those schools will be predominantly white people that can really afford it, and it won't be that many blacks. The Tuskegee experiments that went on for decades, they didn't stop experimenting on black people. They took on and went to Africa and started, studying on people in Africa. So how long are we going to keep forgiving them? And the passage I just read, I know there's another passage where Jesus talks about if somebody asks for forgiveness, if they really ask you for forgiveness, then you are to forgive them. No matter how many times they sin against you, if they ask for forgiveness, you have to forgive them. But white people aren't really sorry for what they do to us. They're not. There's not a lot of sorries coming from white people. What life has shown me is that white people don't respect nobody else's humanity but their own. So there's not much sorry from them. I mean, how long are we going to keep putting up with this mess? I think of the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. He was playing around, and eventually the wolf came, and nobody believed him. So basically, it came a point where people got tired of the mess. And I think that's where we black people need to be. We need to just be tired of mess. We have to stand up for ourselves. We have to really get ourselves together. We have to get organized. We have to get out of this crab in the barrel mindset. We got to stop letting, the TV and the music program us, because that's another tool of white supremacy, that they really use our own people to preach a negative message, to reprogram our minds into thinking destructive things, like this whole rap thing. And I recall a few rappers talking about how their white and Jewish record executives wanted them to be more ghetto, more street, have a more hardcore message about drugs and degrading women. And I look at these reality TV shows, man, they don't do no justice or honor when it comes to black family structure. You know what I mean? It's like white supremacy really using our own people to sell out and portray a bad message, to basically pollute us. But it's always been like that. White people ain't get black people on the slave ships by themselves. They bribe big black men to help them. It wasn't just their guns. They gave away trinkets and candy and stuff like that. And black people took our people and put them on them boats. A lot of our people, they sold out to the white man and, took money or whatever and basically sold some to the white man. Others was just jacking us from wherever. But we really need to get ourselves together as a people. We really need to stand up and stop taking this stuff. Me personally, I'm tired of the hashtags. I'm tired of the say his name, say her name. I'm tired of the marches. It's not doing nothing. The only thing that really got results, we have to look back at what our people did in the 60s. And that was boycott. You got to hit white people where it hurts, in their pockets. Boycott. Think about it. If we really had to boycott. Even, we should boycott banks. Because it's funny how banks will give us loans to get us in debt, but won't give black people business loans. Take our monies out these banks. We really, and I hate to say this, we really need to reclaim our neighborhoods too. Stop shopping with the Arabs and the Chinese people. Which Chinese people, man, I hate to say it. They don't got no love for us like that. Don't get me wrong, I know plenty of Asian places where they show a brother love, but their people, how they doing us worldwide, man, they doing us dirty. They going to Africa and they doing us dirty. A lot of Chinese places we go to, not saying not all of them, but a good majority of them, they won't even let you go for 5 cents. They won't even let you go for 15 cents. Like, for real. And the Arabs, they was the first to enslave us before the white man. We really need to stop being colorblind because nobody else is. Chinese people stay together, Indians stay together, Arabs stay together, white people stay together. And this is the thing that kills me about black people. We see how everybody else treats us, so why do we treat each other so bad? And I hate to even bring this up, but I'm going to end with this. Pigeons hang with pigeons. Seagulls hang with seagulls. Frogs hang with frogs. Foxes hang with foxes. Wolves hang with wolves. You don't see a lot of interspecies mingling in the animal kingdom. And I think in so many ways, us black people, we need to be separate. So I tell you what, Chinese people stick together and they thriving. Indians stick together, they thriving. The Arabs sticks together and they're thriving. The Jews stick together and they're thriving. But we can't even own most of the businesses in our own neighborhoods. We allow envy to flood our hearts when we see the next brother or sister making it. We gotta get ourselves together as a people. Again, I know I've been all over the place with this video, but just my thoughts. This is Holy Warrior Yancey, and this is Holy Warrior Yancey Productions. Again, the parable of the unmerciful servant, Matthew 18:21-22. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Again, all the stuff that we as black people been through with white people, we've been forgiven. We've been forgiven. We've been more so forgiven than they've been remorseful. Think about that. Think about that. Take care. God bless.